Hey everyone, I am back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I hope that you've had a wonderful week. For those of you who celebrated Christmas, I hope you had a wonderful, amazing holiday season and Christmas, whether it was with your family or friends or solo or however you spent Christmas if you celebrate. Thanks for those who are starting to join here. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. For those of you who are brand new to Mental Health Moment, if this is your very first time, welcome, welcome. For those of you who tune in every single week, every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live, welcome back. And for those of you who are tuning in on YouTube on the replay, welcome, welcome. Be sure to subscribe. We're here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here live. And again, thanks for those who are starting to join here. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. We have been talking for the last couple of weeks here as we wind down the end of the year. It is hard to believe. It is the very last Tuesday of the year, you all, the very last mental health moment of this year. So crazy, right? And hi, welcome, welcome from Australia. Welcome, Australia. So beautiful. I had the chance to go this summer actually to Sydney. We went, which was so beautiful. I was so excited to go. So welcome, welcome from Australia. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Indianapolis. Welcome. I think I'll be there next week, actually. First time viewer, welcome, welcome. Baltimore's in the house. Texas is in the house. Welcome. Thanks you guys so much for joining today. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. For those of you just tuning in, Vancouver's here, Washington is in the house, New Orleans, Tampa, Florida, first time. That's where I'm located, the Tampa Bay area of Florida. Another Floridian, and also Atlanta's in the house. So welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. So today, again, this is the last Tuesday. It's hard to believe, but the very last Tuesday of the year, the last mental health moment of this year. So I know that this time of year, what tends to happen is we all tend to sort of get in this reflection. What happened this year? Was it a good year? Was it not so great of a year? And, really starting to reflect on this year, which is completely normal to do. And hi, thanks for those who are still starting to join here. Chicago's in the house, first time listener. Maryland is here as well. Sacramento, California. Orangeburg, Atlanta, Virginia, Orlando's here. Welcome, welcome. So as we reflect, right, on this year, which there's nothing wrong with that, I just wanted to remind you before I give you some tips today to think about whatever it is that happened this year or didn't happen this year or was supposed to happen this year, all of those things, to think about how we have an opportunity, though, right, to move into this new year and to having this new mindset, right? Because sometimes we get really hung up. We hang on to things in one year, and why didn't this happen? And this should have happened, or this shouldn't have happened, all those things, right? So we're going to do our best gently and gracefully to move into this new year. So what I want to share with you all today are 3 questions that I want you to be asking yourself. So those of you who are my note takers, I know some of you say I got to write this down. If you're a note taker, then you're going to write these 3 questions down, and I want you not just January 1, right, but throughout the year, again, for your mental health, your wellness journey, to be asking yourself these 3 questions, because these are the questions that help to guide you and help to help you see, where are you at emotionally, where are you at mentally, right? Where are you at in this journey? And it's okay. There's no right or wrong answer. Yep, someone said it was not a good year, and it's all good, it's okay. Someone said National City, Orlando's in the house. And and that's perfectly, it's perfectly fine. It's hard to say that because a lot of us have had just different experiences this year. But if you're like, man, this was not a good year, think about, though, the things that you can learn from these experiences. Honestly, I will, before I share the 3 questions with you all, I will say, as I was reflecting on this year, if I could describe it, I'd probably say sort of a roller coaster year. It was very unique. where there was a lot of highs, a lot of really great, amazing things, and a lot of lows, and a lot of disappointing things. So it was really a roller coaster. I was constantly on the road. For those of you who are not new to mental health moment, I was in, I don't even know how many cities, a lot of different cities, with a lot of different projects, and with speaking, and with mental health projects I was working on, all sorts of different things, right? So it was very busy, hectic, great things, amazing things, disappointing things, like a lot of combination of things. But nonetheless, even so, and I encourage you all to think about this in your own journey as well. Whatever your year, however you want to sum up what your year was, maybe you're like, man, this was the best year of my life. Awesome. Or maybe you're like, this was a hard year, Dr. Ham. This is a very difficult year. Think about, what did you learn from that experience? What can you take as far as growth and your wellness journey as we gradually, well, quickly, I should say, not gradually, quickly head into this new year, right? What lessons can you take from that? Um, so the questions I want you to be asking yourself heading into this new year. The first question that is so imperative. We're all so busy, y'all. We have hectic, busy, crazy schedules, right? But the first question that I want you to be asking yourself is, how am I doing? Okay, so someone can put that in the chat here. Ask yourself, how am I doing? Because a lot of times we're asking a lot of other people, which is good, right? We want to check in with others. We talked about that on mental health moment. But what about you? You asking yourself the question, how am I doing? You have to be checking in with yourself often, often, right? So however many times you need to check in with yourself is totally okay. For some of you, you're like, Dr. Hammond, I need to check in every day. It's fine. You might be in that season where you need a daily check-in with yourself, which is fine. You might be in a season where you're like, you know what? I'm okay. Let me just check in once a week with myself to see how am I doing, right? Which is fine. You might be like, I just need to check in once a month. It doesn't matter. There's not a right or wrong, but the biggest thing is, you can't go through the whole year. You can't go through all of 2023 and not be checking in with yourself, you all. So the first question, and thank you for those who are putting it in the chat here. How am I doing? Right? How are you doing? The second question I want you to ask after that question is, what do I need? Okay. What do I need? And I don't just mean material possessions or things like that, but what do you need for your mental health wellness? What do you need on this journey? For some of you, you may be like, I need to rest. Right? You might be like, I need a break. Like, you might be physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally exhausted. Okay, there's so much that's happened the last couple years, especially with COVID. But you have to be asking yourself, what do I need right now? Do you need rest? Do you need more self-care? Do you need more support from people around you, from your family, your friends, or whomever else? Right? What do you need? So ask yourself, what do I need? And thank you for those again who are putting it in the chat here. Someone said I have to check in every week, which is great. Which is great. My year is wake up is to help me to grow and take time to do self-care. Absolutely. Which is wonderful. We talked about that before too, right? What are our phrases? What are our words going into this next year? We talked about that last week, I believe, on mental health moments. So yep, that's the other question. What do I need? Someone said they need self-care, restoration, resting more. These are great, great things to know that you need. And then the third question for you to be asking yourself is, when can I start? Okay. So the third question is, when can I start? So if you are working, let's say, let's say you're at work, wherever you work, and you decide what you need is rest, you might not want to take a nap at work. Okay. Right. You can't, okay, let's start immediately. Obviously, you can't start immediately. You can't take a nap. You can't rest right then and there. Right. You can't go on vacation the next day. Right. But when can you, whatever your needs are, when can you start? Okay. And it's for you to know again what season you're in. Are you in the season? Are you dealing with trials and tribulations? That's okay. We all have those times. Are you in that season? Are you in a great season where you're like, you know what? I could start today. I could start whatever it is that you need to change, whatever it is that you need, you could start the same day. You might be like, I need a week, I need a month, I need a couple months, wherever that is for you. You ask yourself, when can I start? Okay? Because There's a lot of I read a lot of self-help book, you guys, and there's great things, but oftentimes it's like, "Start today, start immediately, start this second," and it's so unrealistic sometimes. Whatever it is you need, you might not be able to start in that moment, and that's okay. I get it from a motivational standpoint and all those sorts of things. I get that, but the reality is when you include your mental health in the equation, you might not be able to start whatever you wanna start in that very second. But you know what? Whatever it is that's happening on the job, your stress, your coworkers, whatever it is, maybe I could start a week from now. Maybe I could start a month from now. Let me put this where, however you put on your calendar, whether you write it down, you have it in your phone, or whatever it is for you to remind yourself, okay, on this day, that's when I'm going to start, whatever it is for you to get what you need. Okay. Um, oh, someone said, and it's okay with a sad face. Someone said, I truly need to hit the restart button. You know what? I know you put the like the crying little sad face crying on there, but you know what? Like the fact that you know that though, right? Like that trust me, y'all, that piece of just knowing and acknowledging what you need, that's a big aspect because a lot of us, like I said, we're too busy and we don't take the time. And I will self-disclose, like I always tell you all, like years ago I was so too busy, right, for my own mental wellness and just running ragged, not focusing on self-care, all these things, which is not helpful to us. It's not helpful to us physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. It's not helpful, right? But I thankfully had to change, right? And really make that a focus and really think about the self care and really think about the self love and really think about worthiness and all these sorts of things, right? That a lot of us think about. So again, the fact that you said that, I truly need to hit the restart button. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful acknowledgement, right? So that's what you know, again, what you need. And then when do you start that? Do you restart today? Do you restart next week? Do you restart next, right? Everybody thinks, I know you're hearing so many things, especially on social media about this new year, new you, January 1st, start your goals then. That might not be the date for you, and that's okay. It might be today, it might be February, it might be, 2 weeks into January. Whenever it is, know when you are able to start, right? When can you start? And someone else said, I need a break, self-care and more support. Beautiful, wonderful. I love that you all are writing writing the answers to these questions in here. And that's a great thing. Many, many people, you all, I've had as a psychologist, I've really had the opportunity to talk to thousands and thousands of people, whether it's in a clinical interview. I mean, I'm interviewing them for a mental health purpose, whether I'm speaking throughout the country to different groups. I've really had an opportunity to talk to thousands and thousands of people. And what I can tell you is I promise you, you are not alone in your feelings. All the things that you're writing in here about needing a break, needing the self-care, needing more support, like that is such a human concept. I don't know how else to explain it. There's so many of us that need a break, that need more self care, that need more support from family, friends, community, or whatever it is. So I share that with you because I just don't want you to feel like you're alone. Because a lot of people I talk to sometimes feel alone, like they're the only person going through whatever they're going through. And I promise you, you're not. When it comes to depression, when it comes to anxiety, there are literally millions and millions of people who experience the same thing when it comes to burnout, when it comes to being stressed out, when it comes to being overwhelmed. There are millions and millions of people that go through that. So I just want to remind you of that as you continue, right, your wellness journey. Um, Someone said, I put in 2 weeks vacation starting January 16th, 2023. That's wonderful. Wonderful. Good for you. Listen, okay. So you specifically have the date. When can I start? You have the date. You have the date set in stone for your vacation starting. Good for you. Good for you. Someone said, I told myself that I am not going to work the long hours I have the past 3 years. Wonderful. That's wonderful news. I mean, so again, when you think about how are you doing, if you say to yourself, I'm overwhelmed, I'm stressed out, what do I need not to work as many long hours, right? And sometimes I'm not telling you all what to do in your jobs. Don't go quit any jobs and say, Dr. Hammond said, I didn't say that. But what I am saying is know what you need and tweak the things that you need to tweak, right? If it is working less hours, working a different job, different type of job, whatever it is for you, that can best serve you, right? That looks different depending on who you are and your situation, your circumstance. But the best thing to be thinking about when we're making these decisions is what is best for my mental health. What is best for my mental wellness, you all? That is so critical. You're going to have a lot of decisions to be making in 2023. Very critical that you put your mental health at the forefront. Very, very important. Someone said, I took PTO next month for a mini vacation for my husband and I's 5-year anniversary. Well, happy early anniversary, first of all. Beautiful, beautiful, good for you taking the time out. Maybe, and this is like a theme I'm seeing in the comments today, like taking the time that you need, whether it's for yourself, whether it's reducing your number of hours, whether it's for anniversary, whether whatever is for, what is it? What is it that you need? What is it that can bring you more joy in your life? Very important, especially heading into this new year. Someone said, I'm telling others that I'm not doing it either. These things need to be said out loud. We got all caps said out loud. Good for you. Good for you. And that's the thing. Like, it's not the easiest thing to do, but again, these three questions that we talked about earlier, for those of you who just joined here, actually, just tuning in, we're talking about the three questions that you should be thinking about as we head into this new year. One of them being, how am I doing? Right. The other one being, what do I need? And then the third thing is, when do I start? Right. So, one of the things as you sort of think about all those answers to your questions and the things that you need, sometimes, like to your point, sometimes you do need to express to whomever, whether it's a supervisor, friend, family member, whomever, you need to have those discussions, right, about what your needs are sometimes, which is absolutely wonderful. Someone said, thank you very much. I need to hear those words of encouragement. Absolutely. Someone said, keep your reservoir full, pour self care into you and others. Beautiful, wonderful. And again, I always say we're at different places. That's okay. We're at different places emotionally. So you may have a day where you're like, man, I'm so full, I'm good, or I'm not good, right? I'm so overwhelmed. I don't think I can pour into someone else, right? I don't think I can help someone else today. That's okay. Then you work on you that day. You take care of you. Other times you're gonna be like, you know what? I'm good. I'm in a really good space. I want to reach out and help someone else. Absolutely be in that space, right? But again, check in with yourself and how you're doing. Someone said, I need motivation. It's all good. It's all good. No worries. Someone said it's been a big year, um, helping out, or I've been resting and meditating for a while. Not everyone's able to rest sometimes with their children. I am blessed in this way. Beautiful, beautiful. Resting, meditation, very important. Again, thinking about you all. What are your needs? What do you need as we head into this new year? Good evening. Welcome from San Francisco's in the house. Beautiful. Um, someone said, yep. Someone said they had to give up 23 years at the sheriff's office just for self-care and to focus on me. You all, again, I know it's hard because we are inundated with messages, right? We are inundated with, whether it's self-help books, whether it's social media, whether it's traditional media, whether it's our family, with our friends. Like, we have so much information that we're trying to process. It is overwhelming. I get it. I really do. The most important thing, though, is for you to be in a space where you think about what is best for you, right? For you, not you're not living for your mom, your sister, for your coworker, for whomever else, your supervisor. It's for you, right? This is your life. So what is it that is best for you? That's something that we have to keep in mind. So good for you. You do what's best for you, right? Someone said, I think it was a good idea is to let the tears flow. Yes, nothing wrong with that. Good evening from Zephyr Hills. Welcome. Um, yep. Someone said dealing with difficult grief with unresolved issues, trying to accept I can't change it. Yes, you absolutely. We talked about that mental health moment before as well. And when it comes to grief, grief is hard. It just is. It's so hard. But I think it's still applicable to be checking in with yourself, to ask yourself, what do you need in your space of grief? And depending on where you're at in a grief journey, your needs are different. If you're at the beginning of a grief journey, what you're able to do, what you need, when can you start is going to be very different than a year in, than 5 years in, than 10, 20 years, right? It just looks different. And again, there's no right or wrong way to grieve. We are all different. But the best thing to do is to try to get into healthy spaces during your time of grief. The other thing I want to say on that, and I know it's so hard to say this because again, and some of you all know my own grief journey of a very huge loss in 2020. Even though there's spaces of grief that we have and we should feel those feelings, there's still times where we can have those times of joy as well. So you can it's a journey, but you can allow yourself to feel the grief and feel moments of joy. Very important to still have those moments of joy. But thanks for sharing that. Someone said, I need help in organizing my home based business. And I need more organization and patience. All good. All good. And some of you, I think I talked about this a couple mental health moments ago, but I am about halfway through reading Michelle Obama's new book, which is The Light We Carry. Beautiful book so far. I'm absolutely loving it. I would encourage that if you're a reader, I would encourage you to check that out as well. I really, really love that she's diving into self care. How do we take care of ourselves, right? The light we carry. How do we take care of others? What does friendships look like to support us? All these great things. So it's a really great read. Again, for some of you who are readers, The Light We Carry by Michelle Obama. Highly recommend it. And I just thought about that when you talked about like thinking about the patients and organization, that sort of thing. Really great read. So I encourage you to check that out. Someone said, starting my small food business and taking care of myself, not just my family. Good for you. Congratulations, first of all, of starting a business. Very important. And again, all of us in some way, I feel, are entrepreneurs in our own rights, whether it's a business, whether it's personally investing in ourselves when it comes to our mental health and wellness. So it is important. I'm glad you brought that up of making sure not just your family, like you said, but also taking care of you. Beautiful, beautiful. Um, Someone said, willing, let's see, someone said, I have to let, nope, let's see, some days I can't help everyone. It's just mentally draining in their current job. Good to recognize. A lot of people, a lot of us are in that boat, right? Where sometimes you are in spaces where you're the expectations of you, like you're just being pulled in so many different directions. It can be draining, it can be exhausting, it can be overwhelming, which is why these three questions are so important. And again, you all, I can't tell you how often to ask yourself these questions, but for some of you, you may need to be asking yourself very, very often these three questions. You may need Again, you may need it to be on a daily basis in some periods of your life. You may need it to be weekly or monthly, but it is so, so important for you to make sure that you are taking care of yourselves. I feel, yeah, I say that on every single mental health moment for those of you who tune in every Tuesday, but it's just absolutely true. And it just can help you so much in life. And I promise you, you deserve to be happy. You deserve to be emotionally healthy. You absolutely are worthy of that. So make sure that you prioritize yourself and your self-care and your wellness. Yes, someone said 2023 is going to be my year to reset. I'm starting to see this as a theme here. A lot of you all are talking about resetting, which is really great, which is really, really great. Someone said, I need more energy. It's all good. It's all good. Someone said, know your limits and stick with them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Someone said, question about, let's see, your 20 something young adult will depend on your everything. I want a new year at 50 to let go, but I'll always be a mother. Yes. Yes. It's a very interesting question just about how does that work if you have, let's say, a young adult child and needing to quote unquote let go and have different relationships. It's absolutely a discussion to have with your child. There's a lot of ways as a parent, and definitely a discussion, probably some new boundary setting and that sort of thing, which I've seen a theme of that as well this year. So definitely some conversations that should be had. But yeah, great question. Someone said, give yourself permission to take time for yourself. If you're not good, it won't benefit others. Yep, absolutely. um, Let me see here. Someone said, it's taken me years. The Light We Care by Michelle Obama. Yes, thank you for typing that in there. That is the book. For those of you just joining, that I was recommending The Light That We Carry by Michelle Obama. Excellent book so far. I'm really, really enjoying it. Um, I love that. Someone said no is not a bad word. It is absolutely not a bad word whatsoever. And it's interesting because I've seen all these, all these things. Sometimes it's like, say no to everything or say yes, wherever you're at. It is again knowing what you need. So some years I have had to say no to a lot of projects. Next year, I think I'm more in like a yes to a lot of different things that I'm going to be involved with, right? So it's really about again checking in with you. You might be like, I need to say no to a lot more things, or you might be like, no, I'm in a space where I want to bring more things into my life, right? So you check in with you, and then you can make those decisions. Someone said, my family didn't understand this year. I didn't want to travel home. I told them I'm tired and I need to take care of me. I felt closed in and I'm getting out, walking more, just reflexes on my life. So glad you brought that up. This is the thing, you all, with the three questions that we talked about. So for those of you just joining, we're talking today about three questions for you to be asking yourself often, especially as we head into this new year and hopefully resetting, recharging, renewing, all those sorts of things. So the first question being, how am I doing? The second one, what do I need? Right? Do you need rest? Do you need more self-care? Do you need more support? What do you need? And then the third thing is, when can I start? Because if you need more rest, you might not be able to start that same day, but you might be able to start in a week, or you might be able to start in a month, right? So when can you start? What's realistic for you? And I'm glad someone brought that up about sometimes you're it's it's an interesting thing, the road of growth, which is what mental health moment is all about, for you to learn how to be the best version of who you are. Growth, right? Mental health and our wellness journeys. But in that time of growth, you typically will evolve into a different person. Good, hopefully, right? In the good direction. But as you do evolve, there might be, like, just like what someone said, some people that are not going to understand, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends, your coworkers, or whomever else. So just like that person just said, my family didn't understand this year. I didn't want to travel home. I'm tired. I need to take care of me. You're going to get pushback, you all. Be prepared for that. As you recognize what you need, as you recognize how are you doing, as you grow, right, into a better version of who you are, not everybody is going to agree with the new you. It's always, new year, new me, all these sorts of things, which is great, but not everyone in your journey is going to agree with that, which is why it's important to be thinking about the boundaries that you're setting for whomever that may apply to, right? So yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Yep, I will do that. I'll write down your email. Okay, let me write it down now. Someone said email about something. Okay, cool. We'll do. Someone said 2023 will be a positive mindset for me, quoting my affirmations every day. I love that. I love that. And I love that not only are you saying you're going to have a new mindset, but that for you, right? Everybody's different. For you, you're going to use your affirmations. So whatever it is, for those of you who use your affirmations, your positive statements, that sort of thing, if you surround yourself with those types of statements, if you speak it into existence, right, as they say, on a daily basis, weekly, or however often you're doing those things, that's a great way. That's a great tool that can really be helpful on your mental health journey. Let me see. Someone said 2023 is the year of me. Good for you. Good for you. Happy New Year to you as well. But yes, so again, this is the last mental health moment of this year. It's so hard to believe. But I am wishing you all a very, very happy new year. If you have any questions for me, you always can go to drnikishahammond.com. You can connect on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all of the mental, or not all the mental health, but all of the social media channels. If you have any mental health related questions, if you need any resources, you can always reach out to me. Um, You can always reach out to me. And again, I just encourage you to think about these three questions to incorporate them into your life as we head into this new year. I wish you nothing but blessings, nothing but health and wealth and prosperity and self-care, lots of self-care, right? As we head into this new year. And just really again, you prioritizing you, your well-being is really, really going to be important no matter what your other goals are, right? You have to be healthy. You have to be emotionally healthy and prioritize that for yourself. And you deserve that as well. So happy new year to you all as well. Stay blessed. Yes, stay safe. Happy new year. So the next time I see you all, it'll be, well, next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. And it will be a whole brand new year, which is crazy, right? But yes, happy new year to all of you as well. Stay blessed. I will see you next week. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.